Hello everyone and welcome back to a new video. It's the first one I've done in a long time. I think it's the first proper video I've done on iRacing. So today we're going to be looking at a race I did a few weeks ago in the Mazda MX5s around Lime Rock Park. Haven't been reset to rookies, but I desperately needed to try and improve my safety rating, so plan was to do a few races in these, not really worry about the result and just keep it nice and safe to gain the safety rating. But this one ended up being a pretty good race and those plans kind of went out the window. So let's get into it and see what happened. So getting ready to start now, managed to qualify in third, so should hopefully avoid a lot of lap 1 carnage as the red lights are on, and as they go out get a pretty good start compared to everyone around us. Nobody really gets any start much better than anyone else as into turn 1. Just going to take it nice and easy, leave a lot of room to the cars around us, and managed to hold on to P3. And you might have seen there in the rear view mirror seemed to be a bit of an incident for some of the cars behind, so that means, luckily for us, that means have a nice bit of a gap, don't have to worry too much about being caught behind. As look at our replay now, green car starting in 5th, goes in a bit too deep into turn 1 towards turn 2 and just completely takes out the white car that was in 4th, and as they rejoin the track he doesn't seem to be too happy with that, just shoving them onto the grass. But their losses are gain, and now can just focus on the 2 cars ahead as we have over a second gap behind. As into the chicane now, the red car has a bit of a look on the green one in the lead, but doesn't make any move at this time. And up the hill, we short shift into third there because, as I said, the plan was not to really get too involved, just keep it safe. So didn't want to get a run on the red car into that quick right-hander, but through the last turn onto the straight to finish lap 1. Lucas in the red car goes a bit wide onto the grass. We get a much better run down the straight and move up into second place. And now just going to try and focus on the other Lucas ahead, so in a bit of a Lucas sandwich, but really I was more so focused on the mirrors because I didn't want the car behind to go for a dive or anything and I not notice and end up with a bit of an incident, which last thing I want when just trying to gain safety rating. As down into the uphill chicane again, get a good run through the car before and gain a lot on the Mario Kart ahead, but don't want to go for a move there, just stick behind. As now pulled out of the slipstream there because again didn't want to end up having to go for a move into any of these turns because probably end in tears. As through the last turn, going to have a bit of an off-board shot now because like on the last lap with Lucas behind, I run a bit wide this time and gets a good run on me, so that means I have to have a go on the car ahead to try and stay in second, go to the inside as the green car moved across on me a small bit as we were heading towards the braking zone, but luckily don't make any contact and we stay as we were in second place, so no moves there. But as I said before this race, the whole trying to stay out of trouble and not really go for anything kind of went out the window, and it's only lap 3 is down towards the chicane again, get another good run, and this time once again we don't go for a move as up the hill get a pretty good run. Seems to be a place throughout this race where I was a lot stronger than especially the car ahead. As through the second last turn, hit the curb a bit too much there, so don't get a great run. As through the final turn, the car behind, he seemed very strong through this turn, and you can see in the mirror he's gaining on me all the way now as he pulls to try and get past, and I just lift off to let him take the position because it felt like he was going to try and get the move done eventually and I didn't want to end up being taken out if he went for it, so I just decided to let him go past. And luckily for me, a bit later then on lap 4, through the second to last turn, still relatively close, but he takes too much curb, unsettles the car and he spins off to the inside. So having lost time the lap before, letting him pass, as through the last turn we go very wide there, getting another off track But yeah, after letting him pass the lap just earlier in the lap, and losing time, he just spins it himself. As we skip ahead then to the end of lap 8 starting lap 9, Self and Lucas catch up to a lap car, and luckily for us he moves out of the way on the main straight, so he doesn't hold either of us up. I don't think he might have held up Lucas a small bit through the final sector, as on the exit turn 2 go a bit wide and get another off track. So that's 3 incident points now, which unfortunately won't get as much safety rating improvement as would like, but yeah, at this point we're a second and a half behind the lead, and then skipping ahead to lap 15, so not a lot happened for a good few laps, but we managed to close up to Lucas as through the chicane he gets a really bad run, and we close up again. We're really close, just 2 tenths behind into the last few turns, and at this point, yeah, not really worried about the safety rate now. When I'm in a position like this, I really want to try and win this race. So on the main start finish straight then in the slipstream, and slipstream in these cars is actually very powerful, as we pull out there with 5 laps to go, just not really looking for a move, just trying to spot the braking point and maybe put him off and maybe make a mistake and we'd be able to get through. But through turn 3 then, this is another turn, this sequence of corners I felt very strong. I was able to take the left-hander very well and get a good run through this right-hander on the run down to the chicane, and we're still very close. It's a track where it's not very easy to overtake, but if you get a good run on the car ahead, you might be able to make a move, especially through that chicane. As I said, it seemed to be a lot better through there on a lot of laps compared to Lucas through the final turn then. Unfortunately for me, through the final corner, it was probably my weakest corner on the track, but at this occasion managed to get a pretty decent run, probably matched what Lucas did. But we're in the slipstream, we pull to the inside, go down braking about the same, but we have the inside line, so going to try and make a move on Lucas for the lead. But he has the outside line through turn 2, which turns to the inside for turn 3, and he manages to hold on for now. Because even though I wanted to win this race, still had in the back of my mind that I wanted to finish this race and still gain the safety rating which I was aiming for. But when the chance arose like that, when had a good run side by side into turn 1, had to try and go for the move. I should chicane, he gets a poor run, and unfortunately for me I get an equally bad run. It's probably the worst I've taken that turn in the whole race. I will get the white flag now going on to the final lap, and only a few more opportunities to try and get this race win. The 2 of us, we've pulled a big gap to the cars behind, so if I want to, can battle all we want and no real threat from behind. But through turn 3, where I was being very good the whole race, go a bit wide, unfortunately it puts me a bit further back, and again don't get a good run through that right hander either, and drop back from Lucas. So probably not going to be able to make a move now as it's this chicane. I was hoping he'd maybe get a poor run, but unfortunately for me he gets a pretty nice this time. Still gain a bit as we're coming up to a lap car now, so I was kind of hoping that he'd get involved a bit and give me a chance to get this pass done behind the same hand. Didn't want to try win a race because of a lap car getting in the way. I through the final turn down towards the line, I don't have enough of a slipstream or close enough to get a move done as we cross the line and finish the race in 2nd place. So as we look at the results now, you can see there finishing 2nd, just under 3 tenths behind Lucas, and managed to gain some I rating, which wasn't really the aim, but it's always nice, and managed to gain a lot of safety rating in this one. So all in all, it's a very good race. But that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed, and planning on making a few more videos this year, especially on iRacing, doing some league racing. So until the next one, thanks for watching. See you then.